Good afternoon, class, and welcome to your virtual course, Math 50 Pre-Calculus. My name is Dr. Araipur. You can call me Dr. A if it's easier for you. And I have sent you several emails regarding the course. I hope you've had a chance to explore the course. We are going to go over that quickly. And the idea was to log into Canvas first, and the way I've set it up, you just follow the numbers here. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Number 1, there is a short welcoming message to everyone. I'm very happy to have you all here. And I'm hoping that we are going to have a, wonderful semester together. Number 2, class philosophy. Let's look at the class philosophy, everybody. We have the email address here, and normally I reply within 24 hours. Going back to the home page of Canvas. Number 3 is the announcements, and you put this in student mode. As far as the announcements are concerned, I put the announcements here and I make sure they are sent to students. So if you miss any announcement, first of all, make sure you check your emails, especially as we get closer and closer to the time to take the exam. And secondly, if you miss anything, you can find the announcements here. There was a welcome and orientation, recorded orientation, and a message welcoming you to the course. Hopefully all of you have seen those. The next one is number 4, but before I go over number 4, I want you to look at the left side where it says Tech Connect Zoom. This is where you join the class. On the left navigation bar, you click on Tech Connect Zoom and you join. Do not mix it up with the office hours here. These are the office hours. Don't mix them up. Okay? This is not the Zoom meeting for the class. And this is where you join the class, okay? So you just basically click on join. Going back to the home. So after the announcements, number 4, you have the syllabus, modules, homework, exams, and so on. So what I want to go over first, I want to go over the syllabus. By the way, you can click on it here or on the left navigation bar right here, look for the syllabus. The bottom one is the Excel calendar that tells us roughly what we cover and when we cover, and when is the first exam, second exam, and so on. By the way, a couple of assignments coming up. One of them is called a mandatory introduction assignment to MyOpenMath, our digital platform. Also short, I'm going to call it MOM. And on Friday, the algebra review. So going back, so that's the Excel calendar. The first one is the syllabus containing basically every piece of information you expect to have from a syllabus. One thing I want to add here is that I understand the syllabi are getting larger and larger nowadays. So I put them in the form of a topic so that if you are interested in a specific topic, for example, where is the math success center, what is the grading policy, you can go to that specific topic. However, I'm going to quickly cover the entire thing. It doesn't take long. I'm going to just give you the synopsis of that. So first we start with the course, the section number, and the time, Monday, Wednesday, and so on. Then we have student learning outcomes such as course objective, topics that we cover, and so on. If anybody's interested, you can look at it. The next thing is the text, and I'll show you when we go to MyOpenMath, where you can find the text again there. It's mostly a reference text. If you follow the PowerPoint lectures that we have, the practice test / exam reviews that we have, and the videos in MyOpenMath, you may not need that, but it's there, and you can click on it here, or I'll show you when we go to MyOpenMath. And the next one, of course, is the online platform that is referred to as MOM by OpenMath. Okay, and I have a couple of videos in case you want to get more information about those. And we have the class calendar, and of course you're here, the orientation / the first day. The main thing would be the date for each exam, and we will have an exam every 3 to 4 weeks, roughly. We will have 4 exams and the final. All of the exams are set for Saturdays, except the final exam, which takes place on the last day of the course, the class, which I believe is a Wednesday. There will be no proctorio. I believe we are all here to learn. It is highly recommended that you watch the recordings of practice tests to get ready for the exam. And all exams, again, information and instruction will be sent to you, and you can find it under the announcements. All exams expire at 11:59 p.m. You're urged to take it quite a few hours before that, okay, in order not to be tired when you take the exam, and you do a good job on that. Meeting and important dates, obviously, we know when we meet. Calculators. Graphing calculator is required from the students, but you may not be able to use it for all the exams. What's interesting that I have a list of some calculators. I highly recommend you check them out. These are free online calculators, everybody. So basically, you don't have to pay for a calculator. So free online calculators, and their websites are here. So such as Desmos calculator, scientific graphing calculator, and so forth. We have the tech support for my open math here. Also, we have the campus tech support. Okay. So in case you need to contact. We have the information about Math Success Center. That's where the tutoring center is located at, okay? And we have a couple of locations. Again, the information is here. Remember, I'm going over the syllabus in general, telling you just about every piece of information is here. You can find it right here under the topic Math Success Center. Now, grading policy. Online homework, 300 points. 4 tests, each one 100 points. There are 4 tests. And then we have the final 300 points. They add up to 1,000 points total. This is a point system. Makes it very easy to see the grade. 90% or higher is an A. That means 900 to 1,000 points is an A. 800 to 899 is a B, 80% or higher. And 700 to 799, 70% or higher is a C, and so on. Now, you must take all the exams in order to pass the course. Your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score if that's percentage, because remember, the final is 300 points. If the final score is good, how good is good? At least B or 80% or better. Part B, homework grades are at 95% or higher. And this action will result in a higher letter grade. Because if I do all of that and somebody who has 830 points, which is a B, ends up with 850 points, which is still a B, makes no sense. If you fail to take an exam, you will receive 0 point for that exam, and it will not be dropped or replaced. Course-late work you may use in the case of some of the homeworks a late pass for 10% deduction. I highly recommend you don't do that because normally students who do that, they get behind and they can't catch up. After that, there are other informations here that you might find helpful. What I think is interesting is the CSULV 36, and it says the following. Students need about 3 times the number of unit hours per week for a 16-week semester. So what do we need? We need 15 hours per week because it's a 5-unit course, everybody, to be successful, to really understand, learn this course, and move on. You can read the dropping policy in short. If somebody misses the first day of orientation, you don't register within 24 hours with the publisher. In fact, we are going to register with it today, okay? Miss the first assignments or the second assignment or any of the exams. This is information about DSPS, Office for Accommodation, and I highly recommend if you need help, contact them for help. Financial aid, and so on. Summary step to success, I think it's interesting to know. Basically, study the PowerPoints in each module. Do your homework before the deadline under the module, okay? Watch the video lectures embedded in homework set in my open math. They do have video lectures, and they may be enough, okay, in addition to mine. Study the practice test and their solution. Take the exam by their due date. Again, this is the information about the office hours. And this Zoom meeting is posted, and complete information is posted on the homepage of Canvas as well as the syllabus. Okay, everyone? So you, again, you don't want to mix them up with the time of the exam and the Zoom meeting of the exam. There are more information regarding various helps available in on campus. And the next one, which really I want to spend a minute or two on that, is about how to behave in an online course. They call it Netiquette for online learning. In short, I think this says it all. Professional, show that you're professional and you're courteous. Okay. Um, you really want to follow the code of conduct when it comes to college as a college student. When you send an email, make sure your email has a subject line and it does have the course section and name that you're registered in. And you write an email as a college student. Use correct spelling and grammar, use a positive tone. That basically says it all. Use a positive tone. That's fantastic. We want to have respect for everyone. Okay, that's the bottom line. We want our fellow students feel very comfortable. And so I highly recommend you take a look at this. I know everybody's going to follow that and you're in good shape, but just to be on the safe side. So please just be courteous to one another. Make sure you are there to learn and also you're there to help your fellow students if they need. All right, so we went over the syllabus. The next one is modules, which has basically everything. And what I want to do, I want to go over the modules. On the left navigation bar, I see other things. I want to discuss those first, and then I go to the modules. The next one I want to discuss is the discussion forum. You can find student bios, and I put mine as an example. I highly recommend you write that so your fellow students get to know you, okay? And if you have a comment for your fellow student, uh, please just out of pure respect, okay, for them. So just make sure you always be encouraging your fellow students. Frequently asked questions. Before you send an email, if you have a basic question, read this. I have put together what I found in the past students would ask. For example, how to use a math editor. I explained it here. Frequently asked question about the course ID. This, my open math that you need to register, and we'll go over that shortly. You don't need a course ID because you are registering through Canvas, okay? And another one that is common, where to find the exam password. Every exam is password protected. It will be sent to you about a week in advance on Monday of the week that you have the exam. Make sure you don't miss that exam. If you miss it for any reason, you can go to the announcement and look for it. Okay. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, the next one I want to go over is the Math Success Center. When you click on it, it takes you to a different canvas, which has the information here. Math Success Center is the tutoring center, everybody. They have a virtual front desk. They have Math Success Center on Discord. The services they have to offer: math, stat, tutoring, and tutorials, calculator, loan program, of course, I believe it's based on first come, first served. So you have to go get there immediately. There's a resource library, of course, etiquette guidelines. Wherever you are on campus, whether it's virtual or in person, we just want to respect one another. That's really important. Net tutor, okay, contact us if you need to contact them. Free tutoring, in-person help, Zoom. So statistics, stat, math, boot camp, math, physics for physics. So as you can see, there is a lot of resources here. So I'm going to repeat to find this on the left navigation bar where it says Math Success Center. They have a lot of good help available, everybody, including uh, calculators that they can loan to you in case. All right. Now back to the home page. Now I want to discover the modules where we can find basically the core of the course under modules. So again, you can click on that here, or you can click on it right here. So first, let's see what we find under modules, and then we explore them one by one. First and foremost, at the very top, this one is where you register with my OpenLab. The next one would be the recorded lectures. This is the first module we are going to cover. Exam one module for the first 3 weeks. We start with a practice test. I'll show you why in a moment. PowerPoints and the key to practice test. Now, that's all you need to worry about, because by the time we finish the first module, you know exactly what to do with exam 2 module, exam 3, exam 4 module. And then we have module 5, which covers the last 2 chapters in the same manner. So what I want to do, I want to start from the bottom, which is nothing but a simple resource, everybody. This is a calculator resource. So if you bring it up, it gives you some TI calculator commands. Also, it gives you the information as to how to download the TI calculator. And if it works, and sometimes it doesn't, everybody, then you get a calculator like this on your computer. Okay. Again, I have the information here. I don't promise that it works, because sometimes on some of my um, laptops or desktops, I had a hard time making this work. But at least it's a resource. But if that doesn't work, at the bottom, online calculator resources, they do work. Okay, so we do have online calculators, but what I just showed is an emulator you may be able to download. Then I have some commands. You can look up always more commands, but these are some of the common ones that we need, and I put them here. And it's for TI. If you have a different calculator, the commands must be slightly different, but ultimately very similar. So we have the calculator. So I'm going to close that. The last thing you find on the page for modules is resources for graphing calculators. If you don't need it, you can completely ignore it. Going back up, I want to start with module 1. And then I go to recorded lectures, and then my OpenMath. So what do you find under module 1? All right. The first thing you find is what I call a practice test or exam review. So why did I put it as the first thing? I would highly recommend you look at it and take about 5 to 10 minutes to read these questions, just so you can see what is coming your way for the first module, what is being covered. So we have the synopsis of the first module, the first exam, the synopsis of that. You can even print that. The second one are the PowerPoints for module 1, which we cover. You can find them here. Chapter 1, if you click on it, and the PowerPoints are here. And you can even download them and put them in slide mode, and it shows the work step by step. The third one, this one, is the key for that practice test. Some of them have a little bit more details as far as the solutions are concerned. So what we have here is the practice test or exam review. What we have here is the key to that. Let me go back. So this one has the practice test. This one has the key. And of course, the PowerPoints, when you go through the PowerPoints or through the lectures, you'll be able to do 1 or 2 questions, and that's all you have to do. 1 or 2 questions per day. If you want to be ready on the week of the exam, okay? You have to work on a daily basis. So what is this one? Recorded lectures, practice test, exam review. Now I have the detailed solution to those. So the very first one has section by section, those PowerPoints that I showed you. I have a section by section that I've gone over from A to Z. This is where you find your PowerPoints with explanation. Okay, so again, this is where you find the PowerPoints. This is where you find the PowerPoints explained from A to Z. As we finish the first module, then we see the practice test. Now, this was the practice test. This was the key to practice test. And now this is the PowerPoint solution step by step to each question. Same thing here, okay? So what you can find under the recorded lecture practice test, you can find everything. The very first one basically covers everything. The second one is just a practice test, and we are going to have new recordings with the title that starts with 2025. So, in short, exam 1 module has practice test, PowerPoints, the key to practice test, and right here we have the PowerPoints that are explained from A to Z and the solution to practice test step by step. The last thing that I want to discuss is this one, which is, let me go back to the home page again. I want to make sure that we understand that everything has been covered right here. The only thing left is the concept referring to the homework and exams. which is, again, if you click on them, it bring them to these modules, and this is where you find everything. So what do? I want everybody to pay close attention. This is where you register with My Open Math, and it says here, no need for course ID. So if you click on that, it says loaded in a new window, and you either have an account or you don't. If you have an account, you use your username and password, but most likely you don't. You just make up a new username password. You could use the same username for your campus or email address, or you name it. Just do it accordingly, and then you choose a password, you confirm it, you put your name, and you create an account, and it takes you to My Open Math. When you do that, when you open an account, you're ready to tackle your assignments. It'll take you to My Open Math. So this is My Open Math. What do we find? At the very top, I put the very first assignment. It is Introduction to My Open Math. We come back to it. I'll show you a couple of things there. The purpose of that is to make sure you know how to use My Open Math. The next one is Algebra Review. The purpose of this is to make sure you have prior knowledge of mathematics to move on. Both of these assignments are due immediately, and I mean immediately. In fact, we will finish this one today. Then the next one is the exams. And again, you don't have to expand it. You don't need to worry about it yet. Again, this is at top, so you don't have to look for the exam. So you know where to find them. So when the time comes, the first exam, you click on it and it has the information here. Also, it will be sent to you. The only thing missing here would be the password, which you receive it on the week of the exam from. It starts with the course description. Okay. And what I want to add here is, for most sections, we have video assignments. These assessments contain video lessons. After each video, there is one or two questions that correspond with the example in the video. And then we have practice/homework assignment. These assessments contain additional problems beyond the types covered in the video. And I'll tell you exactly what we mean in a moment. As we scroll down, the first thing that we see is the calendar. And as far as the number of weeks, you can change it. Normally, it's set for 4 weeks, everybody. And here's what I want you to notice. Number one, we have a couple of assignments. You see it's red, that means it's due almost immediately. This is orange. Now, here's the first exam. Right before the exam, we have all this homework. If anybody waits till then, will fail the course. So one might say, why have I set it up like this? Because in the past, there have been many requests, students who, for some reason, didn't get a chance to do it. And I had to reactivate it one by one. Instead, you make sure you do 1 or 2 assignments on a daily basis. By the time you get to this week, I promise you, you'll be more than ready. And if you don't do that, regardless of how easy you think an exam or a course is, you're gonna have a difficult time. So you do 1 or 2 assignments per day. All right, what comes next? We have module 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Modules 1 through 5 are the same modules that you find typically in Canvas. In Canvas, you have the information. Over here, you go and do your assignments. Very simple. The question is, what is module 0? As the name indicates, resources. So let's quickly look at the type of resources. Here's the text that I promised you I can show you here.
Professor, can I ask a question?
I thought by time, okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So when you say that 1 or 2 assignments per day, I'm just trying to understand
I
what
will go over that later on with you. Let me finish the recording. I will be more than happy to go over that. But in general, when we finish a section, it's a good practice to finish the assignments for that. As I mentioned, class, when the recording is done, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. By the time we finish the recording, hopefully it's all questions are answered. So please make a note of your questions. I will be more than happy to answer it. So we have this text, and this text is based on this one in OpenStax. The difference is this one is a little bit easier to navigate, but this one has almost the precise sections we cover. That's the difference. If anybody want to follow it, maybe easier to follow this text, whereas this one, it's easier to navigate. You can go to a section of interest, chapter, section, you name it. Going back to my open math, as we go to the next part, this would contain late pass, calendar, gradebook, so on and so forth. It gives you the explanation as to, for example, how do I review any assignment? Any assignment that is past due, all you have to do, click on the grade, and then you can practice it. Again, we have free online calculators here. And then I have a video. There are a couple of videos explaining how to use those. And we're done with module 0. So again, module 0 is simply resources. The course starts with module 1. So this is what is covered in module 1. And the same thing happens with module 2 and so forth. So again, you just want to be concerned with the first module. By the time you finish it, you know exactly what to do next. So if you click on chapter 1 and expand it, it starts with the text. If anybody is interested, you can click on the text. It brings the section of interest, and then it gives you the objectives, the learning objectives, and then you can pick a section of interest. Obviously, we start with the first section. And what happens with the first section, it does have video lessons. By any chance, if any of these video lessons have a broken link, let me know. I've seen in the past some students just watch those videos, then they go to the video assignment and the actual assignment. Again, the video assignment, as the name indicates, just quickly show you, it does have a video that you watch and then you do the assignments. It makes it very simple and it gets you ready to do the actual assignments. In this case, for example, this one. And what happens is that some of the homework assignments, for example, you see the first question also has help in the form of a video. Some of them do, some of them don't, okay, class? So in this case, there are actually 2 videos. So I hope you realize how easy it is to do your homework because there's a lot of help available. And most importantly, you don't have to worry about the number of times that you do it. I keep the best score as long as you do it before the due date, okay? But again, all the homework assignments seem to have been lumped together here. That's the due date. But What if you do one today? Perfect. You do two tomorrow, it's even better. You know what I mean? The point being, because they're all here, it doesn't mean you should do them there. That is when they are due. Do it on a daily basis. Now, so the very first assignment, it's introduction to my open math, and the next one is algebra review. Now I want to show you again how easy it is to score 100%. So the very first one, right here, it's asking you to just enter this number. You're getting to know my open math. The moment I click this box, everybody, a math palette opens in case I need that. In this case, I don't. So 70.5182. And over here, it says rounded to the nearest hundred. So the second one, 70.5. The next one is 1, and next to 1 is 8, so I take it up to 2. Again, take a look. This is the second one, number 1. Next to it is 8, it goes up. Division by 0, we can't. So we say we can't divide by 0. It's undefined. They don't have undefined. They have DNE, which stands for does not exist. So what do? I submit the question. The check mark shows that I have it right. And not only that, the grade has been already recorded for me. For this homework, the entire homework says, well, one of them is done right. And as soon as I come back to do the next and the next, it adds up. So for example, this one, we're going to answer it wrong, 0.2 on purpose. And I'm going to say submit question, and it says it's wrong. As you know, 1/3 is 0.3 bar. So what do? I just got it wrong. All I have to do, get a similar question. That's what I mean by you can do many trials. So I'm going to, well, it gives me the same one, 0 point. And it says, but pay attention always in more, okay, enter 4 or more decimals, okay? And if I submit the question, notice what happened. Check mark, I got the point. So that's why I can't see anyone really getting anything less than 95%. It really makes no sense to me. And so I can continue, or I can say, I'm done, something has come up. I'm going to come back and finish it. So what can I do? As of now, it has given me the score that you see here. This score will be finalized after the due date if I don't do anything else. But before the due date, I show up, I can resume and get more points. So I hope you realize how easy it is to get back to the game and finish the homework that we haven't finished yet, as long as it's done before the due date. Now, if I exit, as I mentioned, it automatically makes a point of my grade. So a quick recap. Here's the home page of Canvas, everybody. The first one was welcoming you to the course. The second one was the class philosophy. The third one was the announcements. Under the announcements, you find a few and more is coming your way. They were sent to you. The next one we looked at was the syllabus. The syllabus has 2 parts, the Excel file, which is the calendar, and the actual syllabus that has more details as far as grading and time of exam and so forth is concerned. The next thing was the discussion. You have a student bios and frequently asked questions. Also, a student hangout. If you want to get together and do any assignments, help each other by all means. Math Success Center. That brings you to a new canvas, and it has a lot of information, all useful information about the Math Success Center. It's a tutoring center. It's available. It's free, and they give you a lot of help and resources. Again, if you want to attend the class, this is the one that you go to Tech Connect Zoom. Under the modules, the very first one, this is where you register with my OpenMath. This is the recorded practice test. And for now, you're just concerned with the first module. We have the practice test. We have the PowerPoints. We have the key to those PowerPoints. And the recorded lecture has not only the lectures, the PowerPoints are explained step by step, also the solution to practice test step by step. Finally, so that's the Canvas. Finally, when you go to my OpenMath, the first thing is the introduction to my OpenMath you have to do. The next one is algebra review. Exams can be found immediately after. The calendar, and I can't emphasize this enough, there are a couple of assignments coming your way, and all this homework lumped together. Please don't pay attention to that. Do them on a daily basis. Module 0 contains a lot of resources. Module 1 is where your course begins, but I highly recommend you look at Module 0 and all the resources it has to offer you, such as the text, online calculators, information about my OpenMath. And then Module 1, you click on Chapter 1, you go with 1.1. You can watch these videos. Video assignment is the first one, and then you do the actual assignment. So I hope this was helpful. I wish you all best of luck, and I'm sure you all do fine. Happy studying, everybody.